You're new to the diocese, and I think brand new kind of in this week. Can you let us know what your job title is and what you've come here to help us with?
Yeah, so I am the social policy advisor to Bishop Martin, which probably means that no 2 days are going to look the same. But overall, I'll be supporting the work of the social responsibility panel and then the bishop's influencing and advocacy work locally and nationally.
Brilliant, thank you. And it might be useful for us to know a little bit about you, about what you've been doing before you joined us. And I know that your position, your role with us is a part-time role. So also some of the other stuff that you're involved with that's kind of similar and which will perhaps feed into some of what you're doing with us in the diocese. So
Yeah, absolutely. So I previously worked for 2 members of parliament as their parliamentary researchers. So that means that if the bishop gets invited to the House of Lords, I can at least help him get his bearings. And in those roles, I was working on a range of policy areas that overlap quite nicely with those covered by the social responsibility panel. So things like poverty and financial inclusion, the environment, early years and education, and modern slavery, for example. And yes, I'm doing 2 days a week with the bishop, and then 3 days I work for a public health charity where I do research and manage projects which cover sort of the various factors, social, environmental, and economic, that influence our health and well-being. So everything from vaccinations to social cohesion. So again, there's a good amount of overlap there.
fantastic. And sort of being slightly less diocesan, a little bit less corporate now, a little bit more personal. What excites and motivates you as a Christian with regard to social action or showing God's love in practical ways, or discipleship that's about justice and mercy, however you want to phrase it? What is it that kind of pulls you towards that?
I think we're used to thinking of action as a way of manifesting or living out our beliefs. But I think what excites me is how being involved in social action actually strengthens my faith, especially around the importance of Jesus' teachings and the way of life that he modelled. So when I think about the issues and injustices that are besetting our world, and many of the approaches that policymakers take to address them, I'm increasingly convinced that the hope of the world is other-oriented, egoless, and even self-sacrificial lives of love, like the one that Jesus showed us. So that's one part. And then I'm also increasingly convinced of social action as a crucial part of our witness and evangelism in modern society. So we live in a highly crowded marketplace of ideas, and marketplace is probably a very polite term for it. It's more of a Twitter storm, and it's full of PR spin and fake news. So people are understandably cynical. So visibly sort of putting our money where our mouth is, or working for social justice and shalom, is not only a persuasive testimony of what we believe as Christians, but it also gives people a taste of life in the kingdom of God.
Brilliant. That's excellent. And you, in saying what you said there, you'll be helping us to put our money where our mouth is, in a sense, to use your phrase, because as you know, we talk about everyday faith, and we speak a lot about everyday prayer, everyday witness, but also everyday action. And so we look forward to you helping us with that. Lastly, said it was going to be brief, but lastly, how can people get in touch with you? And where are you going to be hanging out? Where will you be based? And then, is there any last word that you would like to have?
So I will be split between, I'm currently living in London, and then I'll also be in Bishop's Lodge about 1 day a week. So the best way to contact me is my email, which is florence.gildea@leicestercov.org. And I really would love for people to get in touch, whether it's a question they have about a social issue or policy, and how their church can make a difference, or a suggestion for how Bishop Martin might intervene in public debate or issues on that stage. So yes, please do email to get in touch. And I think my last word would be to reassure people that I'm not here to add save the world onto already very heavily burdened shoulders of church leaders and members. So what I'm hoping to do is to hear about where God is at work in your communities and churches in terms of the social issues that you're seeing, and potentially ways you're already responding or would like to respond. And so then I can channel those stories and experiences into the bishop's advocacy and influencing work in a local and national arena.
Fantastic. Well, thanks ever so much, Florence. It's been nice talking to you, and over the next little while, I'm sure we're all looking forward to getting to know you better. Thanks ever so much.
Thank you.